All right. Let's set the stage. Blossom versus Nemesis in the grand finals of the North American Unite Championship Series for the March finals. Blossom, formerly known as Team Shiny, is coming from the grand finals winners bracket. Nemesis coming from the losers bracket, but as you can see here, a 2-0 win. So, taking a look at it, Trainer LGC, Artryu, Izunable, Yeetfan, and Rex running a very interesting comp, and yes, they're going to be playing that Decidueye. Now, Decidueye is performing better than I thought. I got to give it to the Decidueye players, mostly Yeetfan out there. They're doing a lot of good things with it. So you can see this. This leads us to our bracket reset, where Nemesis has now lost a series, and Blossom has now lost a series, and they have to play for the grand finals. So let's see if we can get in there and see what we can find out. So let's get us ahead in this VOD to their selections. And this is going to be the series of the bracket reset. So looking at it, we'll kind of take a look at the builds. We'll see what we can find, and we'll go from there. Now, one thing I will say, Yeetfan runs a really interesting build, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. Something I'm not sure is super applicable to solo queue, but pretty close, pretty close. All right, so from the side of Blossom, like I said, formerly known as Team Shiny, we have Rin rocking the pretty standard Charizard build, Elo rocking the pretty standard Ninetales build, full tank Faz build on the Blissey that they are going to be running in that tank slot. We have a really interesting non-buddy barrier support build from Mike Spam, so rocking the Focus Band, really just wants that early strength, and then Retsu on the full damage Lucario build. So double all-rounder, looking to kind of counter pick the Decidueye potentially with the Charizard, just really, really good at the back line. And then they have that really strong support tank kind of player with Faz. As for the left-hand side, let me go ahead and hide my camera for a second. We have Rex, pretty standard tank build in competitive with the choice specs. That's for the water gun early game. If you ever see a choice spec Slowbro, it's for that water gun secure for the early game. Now we have really standard support build on the Hoopa, pretty standard attack weight Fluffy Tail Artryu Greedent solo top build, very, very standard Trainer LGC Greninja build, and Yeetfan. Now this is the one that really interests me, because it's a Spirit Shackle build. It is attack weight, and I'm assuming that realistically there's just no better third slot item in Yeetfan's mind, because he's probably not going to full stack that. I might even try to pay attention to it, but just really wants to get as much extra damage as he can, just depending on what kind of stacks he can get. And then Scope Lens, since you're not running a full auto attack build, is not necessarily as necessary in a sense. So running the Razor Claw, because you'll get that damage proc, you know, after you use an ability. So very, very interesting Decidueye build, running the eject button because, you know, you need that mobility. And let's go ahead and take a look at this series. So again, this is the bracket reset. Blossom on the right hand side going up against Nemesis. Sorry, I spaced out there for a second. So let's go ahead and dive into it. This is all down to the wire, down to the very end. See if we can fast forward ourselves here a little bit and get us into the game. Our boy Doob Stacks and Jeff Hooglin. All right, so here it is, grand finals reset. You can see they make that distinction, so you really have that context. Nemesis on the left-hand side coming from the losers bracket, Blossom straight out of the winners bracket, but they have lost a series to Nemesis now. So Nemesis riding the momentum, and let's see how they do it. Yeetfan going to be playing the Decidueye in the tri-lane, so they're running the double 80 carry comp, and I think that, you know, if anything, speaks to the strength of that. So the bottom lane, ironically, you would think that the best way to probably shut down that Decidueye lane, because if it's tri-lane, it can definitely get some help, is to run something really aggressive. But I was going to say, ironic enough, Blissey is not necessarily the most aggressive or the best laner in the world, especially running that tank role. So it's almost like they're breaking even and trying to outscale them in the late game would be kind of my thought. So Artryu doing what she does. Trainer going to be up there now. Rin with that gank. Get that level 5 gank. He's going to go back and finish that last crab that they have. So 850Bs will be coming up very soon. We'll see how they deal with this first set of 850s. All right, Rin's in that top bush. Retsu might tick into level 5 here. If he does, we'll see how they decide to fight that. You see the E-speed, but the covet comes out, so no real overcommitting. Look at that. Trainer instabacks, Rin instabacks. They're going to be looking for that potential triple clear. And bottom lane looks like it's mostly going in the favor of Nemesis, but like barely, just a little bit. And to be completely honest, I would expect that just because of the Blissey lane. And actually, I mean, it looks really even. I'm going to be honest, it looks very, very even. If anything, Elo's got a lot of experience, so kind of hard to read. Right there, that kind of solidifies it. Now Blossom's bottom lane's doing very, very well, in my opinion, with that secure right there. Archu being greedent, doing greedent things. Taking out some of that mid farm. You can kind of see on the mini map we have Rin and Trainer. Sorry, I've spaced out whenever I think about names. Rin and Trainer both in that top side. They're both rotating down. Going to be looking to get some of that mid farm. Posture for 720s potentially. We'll see where they decide to gank at. Retsu and Archeryu playing the top lane. Trading scores. That's a 3 score for a 20 score potentially. No, they're going to back up. Archeryu might be able to get out of that. Yep, that's a covet. And again, stacking that attack weight. So, like I said, that's the thing about Yeet Fan's build. He must just truly not feel like there's anything better in that third slot item than an attack weight, because he's not scoring this game, you know, not at all. So it's just that extra Spirit Shackle damage. If you can get more than 1 score or than 0 scores, great. If not, whatever, right? I wonder if it'd be better to throw like a focus band on there, but just some of my thoughts, probably the way that I would play it personally. In solo queue, I've been running Muscle, Focus, and Buddy just because it's flat health. Even though the Buddy doesn't really help you too much on Decidueye, you don't really need much more than the Muscle Band, but the extra damage does help. All right, we're postured down here for the Dreadnought. There's no Dragonite, and we don't have Spirit Shackle yet, so the best secure is probably Trainer Surf. They don't get it. Right side team Blossom does get it. Rin's going to take into level 9. He's going to pop the Unite move, but it's not going to go off based on the covet, but they don't need it. They're going to go ahead and roll this one through. You can see Yeet Fan got a 1-point score, so that's at least 1 stack that I've been able to see, and maybe even more just because he's got... Okay, so Yeet Fan's kind of inting here on purpose, 4 stacks. I think he's gotten at least 3 stacks. I kind of missed it, wasn't really paying attention, but with 31 points put in, and we just saw 2 go in, so he's at least at 3 stacks. That's not bad for a tri-laning Decidueye with Spirit Shackle. So maybe that's the goal. Maybe that's how they do it, right? Like he just finds the opportunity. That 1 death's not going to kill him, right? Very interesting. Very interesting. Now, if you look at the map, where's Slowbro? Really quickly, I want to pause and make note of this. You look at the map, where's Slowbro? You know, they're getting a kill in bottom lane. Archerio's pushing forward, trying to get some scores. Trainer's holding that top lane. The Greninja holding the top lane. But if you look at the map, we have Rex on Slowbro clearing a jungle camp. Well, why is that? Because they're pushing for level 9s. This is min-maxing. Somebody asked me recently, what is min-maxing? It's like taking all of your resources, all of your time, everything that you could possibly do, and finding the most maximized way to use it. So on the map, there's a set amount of experience. This team is min-maxing that experience by putting it where it needs to go. If you were to take Greninja, who's already level 9, and put it to level 10, well, that's much less impactful than taking a Slowbro who's level 8 and putting it at level 9, because you want that Unite move for the second Dread fight or for the next big fight. So, you know, we're actually seeing this because it's a min-max. Now, the crazy thing about this is something you can do in solo queue. You can leave farm up and hope that your teammates take it for a reasonable amount of time and try to help your teammates get to their level 9s if they don't have them before, like, say, second Dread fight. But, you know, it is solo queue, so just a thought. So, min-maxing some of that jungle experience, trying to get their tank, their Unite move. Trainer's a little bit forced to use their Unite move to try to stay alive there. Retsu's just ripping through, but don't think he can stop it, which is unfortunate because that's some pretty big points there. Rin's going to go ahead and break. A nice overdunk, not bad. And now they're going to put this pressure down. So it's been jungle for jungle Unite, but Rin's actually didn't pop. So Trainer's down a Unite move and wasn't able to hold, where Rin should have a Unite move and should be just fine. If Elo can get this 14 points in, that would be huge, but okay, they're just going to go ahead and break with Faz. Okay, so that's the important thing to note there. They weren't trying to just min-max the points there and dunk it down to a big overdunk. They were trying to get rid of the goal pre-Dreadnought number 2. So we can see now the enemy team, or Nemesis, knows that they're struggling. Yeet Fan might be potentially going to that top lane, but Retsu's up there looking for him. So Retsu's going to back up and mirror that. And now Hoopa is going to throw down the Unite moves. Both teams, both top lane players rotate down. Big fight coming out. Rex is in kind of an unfavorable position, but he does have Archery in the back line with him. It's hard to see where the momentum of this fight is going, but you can see Blossom kind of takes that one down. So, a little bit of a split fight, it feels like. They had a couple people on the front line, a couple people on the back line. I'd like to watch that one again, because even that was a little bit hard for me to follow. All right, so Rex initiates, and Mike Spam drops down the Hoopa Unite move. At the same time, Nemesis Hoopa Unite comes down, and we have both top laners, you can see them on the minimap, are going to teleport down. So let's take a look at this. So we saved, let's see, there's Yeet Fan, and now there is Retsu on Lucario. So both the Decidueye and Lucario are here now, and we have Rex is just very deep. So with the Charizard Unite move shoving them back, you can see Yeet Fan's immediate reaction is to back up. So I think where this fight gets a little disjointed is that Trainer is right here on the Greninja, kind of like getting out. I think he's just smoke screened. Rex is just super deep, and that's where the initiation started. But I think maybe against the Charizard Unite move, it maybe needed to be a play where it's like you surf in and insta run back, because they're not going to be able to trade the health bar here. So when I say something like trade the health bar, it's like Rex is going to go in and take a bunch of damage. That's what a tank does. But they're not really able to return damage during that period of time because they're forced back. So this is a kind of a tough fight for them to win. So you can see Trainer is walking out, but Rex is just getting, kind of bombarded here because they can't help him, right? They can't put damage down because Rin's in that back line. So the only way that they could possibly win this fight, and even though our trio is helping, the only way they could possibly win this fight is if they were to like insta-kill Rin and then maybe resurge forward. But that's going to be, and that's Rin is on the Charizard. Sorry, someone asked me recently if I could say the Pokemon names as opposed to the player names, because I know the players, but not everybody does. So Charizard, Rin on the Charizard at the back line. If they could quickly wipe that out, that maybe would have worked. But it looks like Trainer went down to the beach. The other teammates went left toward their tier 2 goal, and Rex was the one that stayed in with our trio. And honestly, Rex being the first one that took a ton of damage, he's actually the last one to die. More or less, because they just don't need to deal with him. So a really coordinated and strong fight from Blossom, where you saw the Charizard shoving them back, using that Unite move for a lot of forward pressure, and then the rest of the team just stayed in a ball together and won that fight. So really nice fight there. I feel like the Charizard into this comp is just so strong. Charizard is kind of like an anti-AD carry. Sometimes if Charizard takes too much damage... Oh, nice bottom lane push coming out from Nemesis. It's around that 4-minute mark, so you know that they want to get their scores in and their Unite moves off. That's going to give Yeet Fan at least a 4th stack. So Yeet Fan... And here's the thing. Admittedly, running an attack weight on Decidueye is crazy damage. It's crazy damage if you can stack it up. So I guess the way that you have to look at it from this perspective is just do it and see what happens. I honestly feel like that's worth it. It doesn't even matter if you stack it. I think it's one of those things where it's you run the item and you just see what happens. That's why there's no score shield or anything. I might use that. That's going to be something to take into consideration. All right, 3-minute Unite coming out from our trio. We'll see if she's able to get that back. And just really hard pushing that front line. You see the snipe come out, the Spirit Shackle. They really want to put some kind of pressure down. At this point, if they die here, it doesn't really matter. If they get any kills, it's good catch-up experience. You see Yeet Fans pushing that back, and now that they're going to at least get this goal down. I wonder if the point is maybe to shove them back. But Yeet dies. Let's shove them back and maybe break this tower first. Because if they get that Rotom, it doesn't really do anything for them, but shove a goal back for 20 points. Trainer's in the jungle, not going to be able to do anything there, trying to find some aggressive push. And so Blossom takes it, but to be completely honest, this is kind of okay. The timing is a little crap. The timing sucks because now they have to deal with this Rotom, and they basically are probably going to give up this Dreadnought for free, the one that's spawning. So that sucks. But realistically, Nemesis taking this Rotom wasn't a huge benefit. Because all it would have done, most likely, unless they were able to fully push Blossom off that goal, is it just would have broken the top goal. Which, to be honest, at this stage of the game with the points not in their favor, that top goal is kind of an ally to them. All right, Blossom is posturing for a free Dreadnought because, like I said, there was just no way that Nemesis could really contest it. So they get a free Dreadnought, which is more experience, 8% health shield, and now it's up to Nemesis to get position, poke as much as they can. But look at this. Mike Spam instantly drops the Unite move down, and they're going straight in. So Rin gets grabbed. The Charizard gets grabbed by the Unite move of Slowbro, but I don't think that that was a Unite move grab. It wasn't. Okay. So the thing about this Unite move is that his team is retreating, and while he grabs this Unite move very quickly, Rin still has his Unite move up. So if they don't kill the Charizard here instantly, this is probably going to be a done-for fight. And even so, looking at the levels, they have three players on Blossom, the right-hand side team, that are level 13, and only one player on the left-hand side that are level 13. So realistically, just looking at the levels, I'm assuming Blossom's going to win this no matter what. All right, so they got like no damage down on Ren. He got the Unite move from the Blissey, the Bliss Assistance. He got sniped, and Trainer stepped forward to try to do some damage, but it wasn't happening that way. So they should just roll through this and do a ton of damage. That's the Charizard Unite, so that's going to basically seal the deal. Archu is running through doing Archu things, but there's really nothing you can do there. Trainer's United. It's basically done. So if Art can't steal this, then it doesn't really matter. They're searching, they know what they need to do. And Ninetales just such a strong pick. So Blossom should be taking game number 1. I just feel like their team fight is so good, so very strong. And obviously both of these teams are phenomenal and amazing teams to watch. I think Nemesis played incredibly well this event, especially playing unconventional comps. Both of these teams not running a Duraludon here in the grand finals. Just carving out their own play style, playing the way that they like to play. Rin, one of the best Charizards, if not the best Charizard in the world. Really, really fun to watch. We'll see if they have any life to do a last-minute push. And I just love the stage that's been set for this series. Really, really fun. Faz is going to sneak a back cap. Really nothing you can do to stop that, I don't think. And even if you do, you're keeping a person away from your side of the map because they have to deal with Faz. So it's like one less person that can win a push on goals that score for like 500. Like whatever the score or the healing is. Sorry, the healing on these tier 2 goals is just absolutely ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, I would love to hear y'all's thoughts. I kind of think that they need to nerf the healing on the goals again. Like they had buffed them up at one point. Oh my goodness, it's so much healing on tier 2 and home goal. All right, so there you have it. Game number 1 is done. Let's go ahead and fast forward. All right, we're back with game number 2. They're going to be here at the character selection screen, and just by quickly briefing and briefly looking it over, unchanged from both sides. I see the builds are the same from what I can recollect, and yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. So back into game 2, and let's scooch forward. All right, here we are. Nemesis versus Blossom. Blossom leading the series. They've both got a loss. You can see that reflected on the UI. Both teams sticking to their team comp. Very confident in the way they want to play. Rin on the Charizard, Trainer on the Greninja, and we'll see what kind of early decisions they decide to make. So Trainer going for a much more full clear, not going to be doing a smaller clear. He's going to go for blue and red. So really interesting decision there, not to try to slow down the Lucario. Maybe just feeling comfortable in the fact that you can do at least a one crab skip clear maybe, or he just wants both buffs. He wants both buffs. So you can see double crab skip if you look at the mini map. Double crab skip and then goes straight for the top lane, tries to slow down Retsu, and does slow down Retsu. So admittedly, you can see the positioning. Trainer putting himself forward at minimum forces the Meteor Mash and the full heal. So really good play there, because it's going to force that player to make and use some resources, which means that there's not going to be a full heal in play from Retsu on Lucario in that 850B. So 850B is coming up in 4 seconds. Retsu is going to be level 5. Trainer's level 5. Archu is not quite level 5. So Retsu is probably just going to rip through and get the majority of that, but it looks like Art was able to get the 5 as well, so probably got the big one. Oh, this is dangerous. Using the Covet to go forward, I don't know if there's a way you can get out of this. Okay, never mind, double tackle. But here's Retsu. So Retsu just dashes through, gets a kill, and is going to get out of there. So, man, I see the play. I see the attack weight stack play there, but having to use the covet first to get to the goal means you can't turn it off and score, because then you die. And if you run around in a gigantic circle, then you die. So, bit rough there. Bottom lane looks like it's going in favor of Blossom. Again, this is kind of, even with the Blissey, this is kind of just showing that, like, I think that if you're a really good tri-lane, which that's what tri-lane takes, is being really good at it to execute the strategy properly, it's hard to play a Decidueye in tri-lane. But it's not that it's that bad. It's not that bad. You know what I mean? Clearly, Yeet Fan is really showing the strength of the character. Definitely shows me a little bit more than I thought it would be able to do, especially in competitive. My kind of thought personally, look at this trade, okay. Oh man, Rex goes down. My kind of thought personally is that if you're going to run double AD carry, you do something like Duraludon lane, because Duraludon can get level 5 and get Dragon Pulse, which is crazy, and then you run something like Cinder in the jungle. So, really interesting to see how, yeah, I don't know, small buffs to Decidueye make Yeet want to play it, but we'll see how much that catches on, or if this is just much more of a carved out playstyle. Regardless, I think Yeet Fan's doing a great job. Great player. I've played against this team comp. It's hard to play against. It's really annoying. Our trio, they're kind of like specialist players, which I think you have to respect. I don't want to call Yeet Fan a Decidueye specialist, but in this sense, it kind of is. All right, first Dreadnought. Let's see how they position. Again, I already think we're seeing the concession of this first Dreadnought with Yeet going top lane. And let me actually wind that back, because I don't remember when that happened. So 720Bs are taken down. Let's pay more attention. I was talking about something. 720Bs are taken down. Yeet's in the bush here, going for a score. I think, okay, we saw this play before, and I think the timing just didn't work out. We saw this play where Yeet went for like a 1-point score and then started scoring, and they were fighting over Dreadnought. So I'm not going to lie, part of me thinks that Nemesis kind of sacks this first Dread so they can get scores, but I feel like there might be a better way to do that, or they're just assuming that they can stall it long enough for Yeet to get like 1 score and then back up. But it didn't work. Like, Lucario happened to come down instantly, so Yeet gets taken out at the very, uptick of this fight. Yeet respawns and is now going to go straight top lane, because at this point, look at this. 5 players down here, 4 players down here getting pushed. Yeet's all the way in spawn. He can't make it back. Decidueye can't make it back. So, not in time. So they give the Dreadnought for free. Yeet's going to insta-go top, probably look for score, probably try to get as much attack weight stacks as possible. I wonder how much of that is just straight risk versus reward. And now they use the Charizard Unite, full shove him off point. Yeet's going to get 1 stack there. That's the first stack, right? As you can see, the 17. 2 stacks, most likely. There's 2 stacks. Looking for the third, fighting the Apom right now. 3 stacks. Yeet's at 3 stacks, and now Retsu stops him. Most likely. Might even int for another stack, no, but I do think that he's probably going to die. Yeah, okay. That's bad, because now Retsu gets the goal, 40 points for free, and drops it down to 3 points. So far, I think attack weight stacking here is really dangerous. They try to stack bot lane, see if they can get a good push here, but doesn't really work out. So Nemesis kind of got their backs against the wall. But Yifans has found his way down. That said, getting those stacks and having that top lane gives him a lot of experience. But look at the levels. We have Trainers level 10, Rex is level 7, Hoopa's level 7. They're going to struggle to be able to fight this second Dreadnought fight. So it's same thing. Rex going into the jungle, saying, hey, look, I need farm. Retsu's going to go ahead and pop off that top lane. This is going to be able to allow them to get this Rotom for free and add some more pressure. So, what was that? 27-point overdunk? That's fine. That's great. That's amazing. 27-point overdunk. Retsu's going to go on ahead and get this. It's on their kind of timing. So, yeah, you can see that they're farming that top lane now, that being Nemesis. But Retsu gets this, puts the pressure down, and is going to push because they have a Hoopa Unite. The thing is, they can't stop this push, or they're not going to be down the bot lane. So Rex gets a Unite move. They can do this, but Hoopa does not have any. Oh wait, Nemesis Hoopa just got Unite. So now they just don't have positioning though. So Nemesis's Hoopa has Unite move, but they don't have the positioning for it. So let's watch this fight. I might even pause it. Okay, Unite moves come down. There's 4 people in top lane. 2 from Nemesis, 2 from Blossom. Both Hoopa unbounds happen. We see Asian Bull right here on the Hoopa. We see Mike Spam here from Blossom, and they both drop the Unite move. We've got a couple of frontliners, maybe a little bit happening up here off screen that we can't see, and let's see how this fight breaks. So they're in now. Rin tries to use the Charizard Unite. We know that all too well. Cannot pop that off. It does look like Blossom Retsu was still able to get it though. And the fight is still, it's just looking so death ball from Blossom. Their team fight is, they know when to go forward, when to back up, when to play together, and so they win that team fight. Let's watch it again. Okay. Let's watch this fight. I'm actually going to slow this down, I think. All right. Watch it in 0.75 speed. So both Hoopa Unites happen at the same exact time, basically. You can see Mike Spams comes out a little bit slower. I'm going to slow this down more, to be honest. You see Archryu and Asian Bull pushing on Rin, and Rin tries to use the Unite move. That's self-preservation. I'm not going to lie. I think whether it goes off or not, you kind of have to use it. And you can't use it on either one of these targets, but you kind of have to use it because he needs that buddy barrier. And this is going to be like, hey, I need help. I'm struggling. We have Trainer in the backline. You can kind of see it on the mini-map. Trainer, the Greninjas in the backline. So they're fighting for themselves. We can't really see that part of the fight, but they're fighting for themselves, trying to stay alive. And Rin is calling for help. So you're going to see Rin call for help, and that's when Faz is going to throw the Unite move. So Faz, looking over at him right now, throws the Unite move. There it is. That's a knockup on, and look at that. Look how much it saves his life. Look at that. Completely saves his life. At the same time, everybody's pushing into this Dreadnought, and the Dreadnought gets incredibly low, which again, we can't really see. So Dreadnought's here. This is at the really kind of the beginning of the fight. Dreadnought was already half health, just about. And the Dreadnought's getting really, really low. That's the Greninja Unite on top of the Dreadnought. So now Dreadnought's completely getting flipped. You see, I forget the name of the move, but the stun move from the Hoopa Unbound, that's going to be on Mike Spam. So they're trying to secure, and you even see Retsu looking to secure. So the communication from Blossom, you can hear it without hearing it, is Rin's calling for help. Faz is looking to help. The rest of the team is looking for secure. So their team fight, while albeit kind of split, is all on the same page. It's self-preservation for Rin to use the Unite move, saving Unite move to save Rin, at the same time trying to secure. So they get the secure. That's a Unite move secure from Retsu on Lucario. And their team is mostly together. We have 3 people on beach here. We have Hoopa and Ninetales are just up here in this right side bush that we can't see off screen. And I think the thing is that we have this double 80 carry comp from Nemesis that is strong and they can fight, but it's like it's hard to keep them together enough to stay alive. So looking at this freeze frame, the only player that's down right now is Trainer on the Greninja. I know I have the rest covered, but they're all alive. Trainer on Greninja, and they're pushing into this fight. But at this point, once the Dread is secured, they get these giant shields. They are not going to die. They're not going to die. I'm not going to lie. This is just a random assessment. I would love to see Nemesis's comp with a like tankier jungle. I would love to see that. I really would. I would love to see them run something like a Charizard jungle back at them, or I really don't even know. Not a Serena or something. I really don't know. I would love to see this fight with like a slightly tankier jungle. Even something like, I know it's crazy to say it, but even something like a Lucario jungle, or a Machamp jungle, or something that can like really get in the back line. Or bringing extra support or something, some kind of way to bring extra support. Put a triple support bot lane or something like that. It'd be really interesting to see if they could out-survive and out-fight. But anyways, let's go ahead and watch the rest of this fight. So at this point, like I said, I think this is where the fight is basically done for. They got big healing. Mike Spam's full health. Retsu gets caught by the Unite move. from Rex, but that doesn't really matter. And Rin was able to completely get away on the Charizard. So let's go ahead and go back to normal speed. Blossom wins that fight. Good communication, good ability to make sure that they got the Dreadnought that won them the fight. They're going to break with 30. I wonder if that was a miscomm or if they just didn't want to like have to worry about breaking. They just wanted to get the breakdown. That's hard to call, right? Never really know for sure. Rin farming up, going to get that level 13. They got about a 150 point lead. They're controlling the map. They have both their tier 1 towers up, so that's, you know, something to think about, you know. But there's Retsu putting another 50 in. Nothing they can do about that. So that's nice. And Charizard Unite comes down. There we go. Charizard Unite comes down because there's time, right? That's really the only reason why. Might be able to take out the Yeet Fan? Nah. Maybe? Well, with Retsu there. Okay, so they get more points in. More points in. It doesn't really matter if they die here. They probably won't. I mean, the only thing that would suck is if they die here is they're going to give up a lot of catch-up experience. Retsu kind of messed up the Bone Rush there, but it's fine. Retsu goes down. Okay. Some catch-up XP. Might be a little bit of catch-up XP. We'll see. Nah, Fire Blast. Good. All right. So they get their 3-minute call-out. They know that they're over 100 points behind, which should be well obvious to know at this point. And they're going to push this top tower, which, to be honest, Faz trying to hold this, I think that losing this top tower is fine, because that means that they lose a goal that otherwise could be double points scored on in the end game. If anything, it's a little bit of posturing for them to be able to take, for Nemesis to be able to take the Rotom. So that's what they're looking for. But there is also a Dreadnought up. And so Nemesis kind of wins themselves a little bit of pressure, right? They free up a little bit of pressure on the map that they can push towards their enemies. But with the timing of it, Blossom's just going to take it down really quickly. That might give Nemesis some catch-up experience because they can get that Dread, but they're not even postured for it, so it's just zap time. It's final stretch, 10 seconds. It's zap time. And we'll see how this fight breaks down. Retsu trying to hold the bottom score. Not that it matters. Blossom holding the right-hand side. Rex uses the Surf in the bush, but they don't find it. So now they're pushing Rex really, really hard because he has no CC. Wow, look at that. Wow, ooh, what a screenshot. What a screenshot. Okay, this is a really important play. Rex steps forward to catch someone, or to peel the Hoopa is what it looks like. To peel the Hoopa, but hits no one with the Surf. The minute they have no Surf, Blossom is going to call no Surf, no Surf. And look how aggressive they get. No Surf, no Surf. Look at this, look at this. They all start stepping forward. A reasonable amount. Now, Elo does get hit by Spirit Shackle. I think My Spam might take a little bit of that as well. But they did so much damage to Rex. We have an 80 carry Decidue in the mid choke sniping. We have an 80 carry Trainer Greninja in the bottom left L. But no one can really help Rex. And that's the thing I'm kind of seeing with this team comp, is Rex is a tank, but he's got 2 really deep backliners, it feels like. And yeah, Greninja goes in, but it's just really hard to trade out this health bar a lot of the time, it feels. So Rex gets taken down. He just insta-dead. That's the Hoopa unbound. They're popping ults. They want to get in this fight. They're trying to flip, potentially. They're trying to pull people in. Archery is going to pop the Unite move. But they're just chasing people down. That's Charizard on top of Greninja. They're trying to win this one. Trainer goes down. The Greninja's down. And it looks like Blossom is just like full winning this fight, right? There. Big Unite move from Rex. Elo going to be taking a lot of damage, but still getting hard supported by Faz. Rex is still alive. That's the thing. So Elo does go down. This is a back and forth fight now because of the fact that they're not able to fully finish people cleanly. So what we need to see is Blossom needs to kind of back up. But at the same time, I think that Yeet Fan has either been flipping this objective, it's been hard to see it, and now Archery might be flipping this objective as well. So full flipping the objective, while the fight was going in the hands of Blossom, they did still have a few players up that were able to kind of zone out and get some damage. That's really, really interesting, because it really just looked like Blossom was just stomping this fight, but it was like the inability to kill or to deal with Rex on the respawn. So it's like the fight just went a little too long for Blossom. That's actually crazy, because the Unite move is what pulled Rex back in, I think. The Hoopa Unite move, I'm assuming. There's the second Hoopa Unite. It's on the bottom lane. So the fight's breaking. Blossom is winning the fight. You see Trainer go down. Rex is alive. You can look at the minimap. You see that the Slowbro is alive. Slowbro ports in. So now Slowbro was south of us just now. Slowbro comes in and goes straight for Elo. This is where the damage starts turning around. Asianable uses that big beam to hit Elo. This is where the fight starts going long, because even though Rex died early, he's still in the same fight. He's in the exact same fight that they started. And that was well timed with Asianable's Unite move to be able to bring it back in. So Rex comes back in, effectively making them have to 5v6 in a sense, and is doing so much disruption. Mike Spam's low on the Hoopa. We got Rin low on the Charizard. We have Elo low on the Ninetales, and this is a trick Hoopa, so damage is going to be coming off of Rex's body. So Elo goes down. Rin is still trying to finish the fight. They're still alive, so Rex goes down, and that's great and all, because Blossom and Nemesis are trading and winning and back and forth, mostly in favor of Blossom, but the whole time, where's Yeet Fan been? Alive and well. You see the Unite move coming down, the Knock Knock that they're using to burn the majority of Zapdos, and out of frame, boom, they take it. Okay. So we watched really interesting play coming out from there, because of the fact that they had the Unite move that was held to get Rex back in the fight. Which doesn't really necessarily feel super intentional. Faz is trying to push, but Trainer's going to take it down. That's 100 points scored, 200 points scored. So now they're in the lead with 45 seconds, because that was a long fight. That's the other thing, too. There's not a lot of time. Not a lot of time. Blossom stacking towards this top lane. Both teams have one player down, but that's kind of in favor of Nemesis, because Blossom's the team that has to push. They're farming, looking for Unite moves. Potentially Elo gets half health there. And now Faz is up. Archu is in the top lane. This is looking bleak, but there's a Charizard Unite move. Charizard Unite move. We're seeing him rip. Retsu sneaks top lane. Asianable, or Archu goes top lane. Both teams put score in. And what happens? Faz puts in the 50. Does that count?
If the plus 38 goes in, I think you're right, Jeff. I think the battle math works out. I'm holding with bated breath. Here we go.
And there it is. Blossom wins it.
Blossoms bloom in March, baby. And
so Faz's score did not even count. So let's watch that end game back really quickly. Up to the point where Retsu sneaks it. Okay, so they're playing off top. They're farming. Let's watch it go down, because it's hard to keep up with, to be honest. Whenever the scores start going down like this, they just try to get what they can in. So Retsu comes bottom, he shows, and then he leaves. So they commit, he leaves. Archery goes top. So this is like full-on pressure. Oh, we're fighting, right? But Retsu's going to score here. So Retsu, I need to like pause this. Retsu scores 74 and puts them in the lead. But it was only by like a little bit. Archery scores, puts 58. And puts them back in the lead. And then what's the last score? 8? It's the 58. What is the 58? Is this Faz's score? Oh, it is. That has to be Faz's score, right? So that this Blissey score wins them the game, right? So Blissey, out of nowhere, sneaks center as well. So the Rin fight gets them in there. Yep. This score right here wins the game. Because it does count. Wow. So, Charizard Unite move pulls a lot of attention. Faz goes center. Retsu goes top. Archu counter scores, but not enough. Not enough. So there you have it, friends. Blossom getting put to a reset. Undeniably, Nemesis playing an amazing job. Doing an amazing job. But Blossom takes the reset 2-0. They're going to be the March NA Grand Finals. That was a crazy series. That really was. Friends, it's a long video. I really went into the analysis on this one. Thank you so much for watching. I definitely do appreciate it. As always, be sure to be kind to one another. Tell somebody you love them. And I'll see you on the next video.